Hello governor, time to review some wrestling game, innit? And there goes my British viewers. A wrestling game? Pugh, where's my meme box? Wrestling, it's one of those things that keep coming back to me from time to time, like thinking about Japan or getting a job. I ain't gonna talk about the whole history of pro wrestling, or WWE, the Monday Night Wars, the fall of WCW, all that crap, cause we'll be here all day. So let's talk about Yuke's WWE games. Did you know that almost all the WWE 2K games are Japanese? No shit, Sherlock! It all started in 1993 where Yuke's was founded in Osaka, Japan by Yukinori Taniguchi, who actually had a racing career after that. Even before Smackdown 1, they didn't make wrestling games for the PlayStation since 1995, with Power Move Pro Wrestling or Tokan Redstone in Japan. While it was a licensed New Japan game, overseas you had to make original wrestlers because back then the promotion wasn't very well known. While they did dwell on other genres such as traditional fighting games, hack and slash, even racing games fittingly, and dogs is a genre now. They are primarily known for the WWE game, starting March 2000 with Smackdown 1, exclusive to the PS1. Then months later, seriously 8.5 months after its US release, Know Your Raw was released around the same time as Zaki's No Mercy for the N64 and the failed abortion that was WCW Backstage Assault. I would add a meme clip here, but I don't want to be that annoying. Know Your Role, huh? What's next? Shut your own. This is a great improvement from the first game, which made owning that pointless outside of collecting. It was quite popular as well, meaning that THQ, the publisher, told it to make yearly entries, even after 2K bought the rights to the WWE brand after they went down. And so, a barrage of memorable WWE games came in the early to mid-2000s, like the PlayStation exclusive, for a time, Smackdown games, and the ones at the GameCube like Day of Reckoning and a few Wrestlemania games. I'll be looking at the 9th entry to the Smackdown series back when WWE had their first brand split, WWE Smackdown Vs Raw 2008, featuring ECW. Well, what a mouthful. That's what she said. I knew you would say that. I was thinking of doing 2K6, but because the season mode in my copy has worked, I have to do compromises. Yes, 2006 was the start of the series using the time year gimmick that most sports games have, meaning that it will become stale, which made Yuke give up on it after 2K19, which then led to Visual Concepts taking the realm. And the rest is history. But back to 2K8. This is of course released in late 2007 for loads of systems, also becoming the first game this year to be on the PS3, the Wii, and the DS. Took them long enough. Now, I have the PS2 version here, but I recently bought a 360 one as well. The valley bezels are haunting me once again. They're the same game, have the same mode, same everything, which the same cannot be said about the Wii version. It's just that the latter has improved graphics, I think, and it runs at a higher resolution and widescreen. I don't like how the PS2 version doesn't let you play that way, and I know you love that kind of shit. So here's me reviewing the 360 version. Manual and text in Spanish. That commentary team weren't available at the time. I don't think they'll ever be. I'm gonna warn you, there's gonna be a lot of comparisons to 2006 and not, say, 2007. It's because I don't own that and this is the best I can get, so I really hope you get used to it. Right off the bat, the loading to the title screen is a lot quicker than in 2006 and even the PS2 version will wait. None of that memory card bullshit after booting up. Just a couple of loading screens, the usual copyright cuffs, skippable intros, and boom, select your storage device and here we go! The game has many match types, not only the standard ones, but also hardcore, buried alive, steel cage, hell in a cell, submission, ultimate submission, TLC, battle royale, elimination tag, royal rumble. I am so overwhelmed. I'm just gonna do a quick singles match. Here's the roster. Let's see who died after the game was out. Oh fucking hell, Ashley died? That's a really morbid surprise. Anyway, obviously the roster consists of current WWE stars at the time, like the Hurricane, an Egghead, Mary Stu Cena, Shitty Wrestler, and Chris Masters. Who could forget Chris Masters? Look, sorry for piling up on Sandman there, he's very influential at old ECW, but come on. There are some exceptions though, due to hiatus, rehab, move to TNA, or whatever, like Big Show, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and Wait, Chris Benoit is absent too? What's with the sudden ignorance of the guy after that anyway? Nowadays, he isn't in any of the rosters of later WWE games, not even as a legend. Not only that, but they also just remove any mention of him in any way possible outside of video games. Why is that? I'll bet if I show this picture to Vince McMahon, he'll get scared like Benoit's a ghost. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. He committed double murder suicide before the game was out. Oh. Remember when WWE revived the ECW brand and it went like this?
This is laughable!
There's no way to move on from that revolution, huh? Look at this. I really despise these airbrushed looks. Some wrestlers look too clean, it's revolting. And somehow I thought they just put Terry Funk 3 times. Speaking of, I feel like there isn't enough wrestlers in the game. That's because there's only 53 superstars, which is 10 less compared to 2006. It may not seem a big decrease, but you can tell by how small the number of ECW stars is, as well as noticing the shrinkage of legends. It's probably the fault of WWE and how a few big name wrestlers quit the company for a while. Well, at least you have standard Roddy Piper instead of this. Let's start a match from Pepsi Cobra Man against the only ECW legend to appear in the next 2 games. Yeah, fuck you, Sabu. As we all know, entrances are not only the most important part of the game, but of wrestling as well. At least that's what this guy thinks. Jokes aside, first impressions are everything, so the entrances are the first time we witness the graphics. You don't just bring it, I've been misled on the intro! Here? Can I just say that these graphics look better than in the recent games? I know, cheap shot, but they do. In the 360 version especially, the models are very well detailed despite the faces looking odd when they move. But aside from that, it's really sad that the wrestlers look better here than, say, 2K14. Is that Jericho or Bret Halligan with bleached hair? Maybe I'm being too harsh on the recent games as I bash 2K14. Let's see how 2K3 looks at it. Nope. Year re-releases were a mistake. Although why does it look like it doesn't have any shadows in the 360 port? The PS2 version has darker yet sharper shadows than this. I get they were trying to make it look like the actual taping/live broadcast of the shows, but still, it makes the wrestlers look like they're floating. By God, the bloom! The bloom! The entrances? They look fine. I mean, I can commend the effort they did to replicate their entrances, even if a few were changed like Sandman. Don't want to make that forehead bleed just yet.
Kennedy!
I don't think Hughes had the guts to replicate Mr. Kennedy's entrance. Although, the announcer haven't said anything yet. Oh, they just didn't.
Now that I have everybody's attention, I would just like to remind you that I weigh in tonight at 246 pounds. I hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Kennedy!
Oh, me meow, I love this already!
Kennedy!
Sure, I'll get tired of it after the first or second viewing, but this still pleases me. Sound is pretty alright, it captures the authenticity of a wrestling show in the US.
Would I miss tonight for the world? No way!
Well, the bell sound certainly isn't the same as WWE used, but that's just a nitpick on my part. For some reason the cheers just fade out after doing a submission, and then it gets up again instantly.
Mostly crook.
Love how every final hit from a finisher needs to be shown 4 times, and then someone shooting a sniper rifle at the last shot for some reason.
This match is
Holy balls, Mahoney! And what you listen to these guys sound like Lex Luger.
Come on, kid. Some momentum at the same time. I was. What are we waiting for?
Music isn't played during the matches, just on the menu, the entrances, and match epilogues. This isn't 2004 anymore, but hey, you can still listen to some commentary, most deleted from SVR06.
This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this! Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
Though there are new lines from The King, Taz, JR, and fuckhead Michael Cole, mostly on the wrestlers not included in that game, and they still deliver such great enthusiasm. Big problem? JBL's really not give a shit about what's happening.
Come on, ref. That should have been a disqualification right there.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Bottom line is, it ain't. These superstars have been giving it everything they've got all night.
They sure have.
These superstars give everything they've got when they're in a match like this, but a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes too.
Shame, because he doesn't usually sound bored in the actual matches. I mean, he sounded a bit monotone, but he still gave a shit. Joey Styles is good at least. He doesn't have the screeching voice every time he sees something spectacular, which is pleasant.
It looks like there's a beating of the minds going on in there right now. Oh my God, what a chair shut right now.
Back to music, there's only 3 rap songs in the menu, as the rest is all hard rock and metal stuff. While I don't know most of these artists, I recognize one of the songs. I think I talked about presentation enough. Huh? I don't remember The Undertaker when you tell that WC. Oh wait, that's the Invasion version of WCW. Now, do keep in mind that I'm in uncharted territory here. While I played SVR 6 before and reviewed some fighters like Dota 2 and Street Fighter UX3, those last 2 are fast-paced arcade fighters which take less than a minute per round to win. Here, it's a slow simulation-y wrestling game where the fights take longer and by default, you must damage your opponent enough to get a successful pin. For controls, you move with the left stick, you grab it with the right stick, X for strikes, B for Irish whip, left shoulder to run, Y for your finisher once the momentum bar is full, and the trigger is out for your reversals. Oh gosh, it's all blink and you'll miss. I kept mashing the right trigger expecting the fellow to grab me, and in these ground pounds where I'm on the receiving end, I kept mashing the left trigger, most of the time failing. It's a mess that fucks my mind up. Is my controller broken? No, I just have a bad reaction time. Like I said, you can grapple using the right stick, but holding the right shoulder and using the right stick can initiate different grappling moves, such as ultimate control grapples, which you press RB on left or right to capture them, where you can move with your opponents and choose which way to hurt them. In 2006, when doing a submission move, you have a short period of time to either mash the button to move the little arrow to the give up sign, or to shake that bar to not let the opponent escape. Here, the giving hand has to move the right stick to strangle a part of their body and release it before they get exhausted, while the receiving end must move or shake the same stick to try unlocking the pad to escape. I thought I had to keep spinning the stick when wrenching. Now I know why my guy gets exhausted quickly. Still, as I only have a short time window to try skimping before the AI wrenches, it's really frustrating. Submission is just a matter of luck to me as before. Much like SVR 6, filling this bar by attacking the opponents, taunting them, or doing a successful high dive move after pumping up the audience will give you a finisher, but you can also store that half of the bar to one of their fighting styles you chose. Each style have a main and a few secondary abilities, with the form of being activated by pressing Y and a right shoulder button at the same time. For example, a technical fighter can automatically reverse any move an opponent gives them when the symbol is highlighted and the bar is full, as well as doing fake Irish whips and automatic strong grapple reversals, only when they don't have any limb damage. I love how a dirty player can just zoom onto the referee to argue like they're Akuma. Beware, as our AI opponent tends to activate their main ability right after storing it. Well, it's not as annoying as being down. Fucking hell, the game tells you to tap the button to get up, but it feels like placebo. I kept thinking that my controller is failing or something, and I really hate tapping buttons with this controller. But that's because this play and charge cable tends to disconnect if I move it. I tried cleaning the battery compartment contacts, but it still doesn't work, so I have to rely on this malfunctioning cable until I get an actual wire controller, and they're still expensive on the used market. I'm getting sidetracked, I know, but it irritates me that the developers think tapping buttons is the way to go. If it's actually doing anything anyway. Good luck trying to get up when the opponent's about to do a high dive move or your limbs are red. Tapping buttons is also important for getting out of grappling attacks. Great, gotta break my control even more somehow. I'm starting to think this game isn't for me. I shall get back to baby games like Mortal Kombat. Olina, career highlights, women's champion. Riveting. Oh, but let's continue. There isn't just singles, there's also these tag matches, either 2v2, 3v3, or handicap. That makes me wish I was strictly a singles person in 24/7 mode. I don't like how difficult tagging your main is. You have to be precise to make the tag, otherwise you just leave the ring. God, I wish they make the tagging area big enough to not keep me thinking I pressed the wrong button. Let me tag! Of course, there's a usual second opponent coming in to stop the pin, so you have to hurt that other one to win without a kick out. It is expected, but it's also annoying. Plus, you have triple threats, fatal 4-ways, battle royals, and the Royal Rumble. Much like the real deal, you have to stay in the ring as much as possible, as well as eliminating opponents that keep piling up one by one. Well, up to 6. The 360 can handle more than that for some reason. Shouldn't this be like just bringing on the PS2? And how do you eliminate them? By mashing buttons at the opponent on the side, push them off. Remember to know your role when you can just... I get it, you wanted this game to have some challenge and be like the pay-per-view match, but it makes the pacing a bit slower and annoying. Not even a strong Irish rib is enough at times.
And the opponent, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 265 pounds, the alpha male, Marcus Corvan.
Oh wow, he calls himself the alpha male? No wonder his career ended 2 months before the game was out. I might come off as being against the game, but the matches are really well paced. It is so much fun to beat up an asshole into submission or a KO by a bunch of finishers. Yeah, the moves might look awkward with the size difference and high flying moves, but the execution is what really matters. It's satisfying getting a 3-count pinfall, doing a successful finisher without getting reversed, or popping the audience on top of the turnbuckle and attacking with a high flying move afterwards to fill that momentum to the max. Plus, many different stipulations and alternate match types that don't involve covering your opponent add a lot of variety. It's annoying to see a loading screen before the victory cutscene though. Unfortunately, this is an FMW game, so the divas don't participate in more violent matches like Hardcore, Hell in a Cell, and stuff. Women are delicate, am I right? Oh, and remember intergender matches?
No! No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Well, let's check out the other modes. Ever since the 90s, wrestling games have become a staple in creativity, especially with its Creator Wrestler feature. It has been improving with other modes and new problems. 2008's Creative Suite isn't too shabby. It still has the famous cow, somewhat overhauled compared to 2006, but it's still very deep and easy to understand. Probably not as deep as Saints Row 2, but still deep. You have massive options to modify the head and body, from colors to shapes, which can lead from recreations that can fall into Uncanny Valley to ridiculous cartoon designs like it's the pre-NWO period, as well as a basic tattoo editor which is not a lot like Forza indeed. I think I made it look like the bastard child of Pam Shepard and Rhea Ripley. The clothing options are similar to SR2 with its layers feature, although they tend to get out of the tattoos if we don't change the order. I know this was released before that, but that's the only other non-wrestling guy I can think of that gives you clothing layers. Oh man, no chokers? Nope, just this blink, bitch. And if you don't like it, I have 2 words for you. Same, bruh. Look, I made Vinny Vegas one of Kevin Nash's personas before joining WWF. After that, you get to pick a voice, if it's a guy, match speciality, abilities, and fan posters if you like. Write a name, a promotion, and how the announcer would call you, and voila, the perfect jobber. After that, you get to change every single move from not only their set, but even those from official wrestlers. And the same can be applied to the entrances, so you can have Edge move like Melina. Hey, every man has a feminine side, and those who claim they don't are just insecure, babe. Glad you can preview the entrance while you edit at the same time, save the hassle of enjoying the loading screens. Oh hey, in the 360 version you can use the ripped songs from CDs as entrance themes. You just have to make a playlist of one song you want. Odd that the game has Drowning Pool's Smackdown theme, but not their infamous song for ECW. Oh well, here's some nostalgia bait, you bastards.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
This is my PlayStation 2.
Hey, don't cut away from me! Oh, but it doesn't end there. You could create championships, edit stables, but not PPVs this time, and create an arena and still in someone's imagination. But still, you can cause a lot of chaos with this game, and it's lovely. Game modes sound generic, has a few features like tournament modes, which is where you find a tournament, go figure. Well, at least you can make your own. The WWE shop, where you get to buy legendary wrestlers, alternate outfits, movesets, all that. Some have to be unlocked at Hall of Fame mode, which is really frustrating since most of the matches are in legend difficulty. This one, you must get the GM of the Year award as general manager in 24/7 mode, so you can buy Vince McMahon as the playable character, as if winning matches and doing activities wasn't enough of a slog. Winning these HOF challenges are also the key to unlock new arenas. Remember when you can unlock the Wrestlemania arena by completing season mode in 2006? I mean, I love a good challenge, but not that much. Anyways, here's 24/7 mode. It replaces both season mode and general manager mode, although it's very similar to the two. You can either play as GM, an actual wrestler, or a cow, either with the original or rookie stats also. As a CAW, you have to do these warm-up matches with specific stipulations before getting any airtime in the main shows. Now I must make Finley tap out. I've purposely made this fellow not to do any submissions, and yet Teddy Long wants me to do so. Fine, I'll edit the moves. After that, you get this cutscene where Vince introduces you to the company in such an enthusiastic yet still assholery manner. As a rookie WWE star, you get this right away.
You're gonna have to beat the best. The best from Raw, and the best from Smackdown. And this year, I'm bringing back the Tribe of Extreme. The new breed will be on the leash, because I'm bringing back ECW.
Soon to be NXT. Here you get to train yourself and attend matches, as well as doing activities to boost your popularity and doing interviews which can change the outcome of a story. So here's Joe Ralphie. That's just his pseudonym. He's a Saiyan demon from hell who decided to join the wrestling world on Earth. I'm sure those horns won't kill anyone. He joins SmackDown despite being unsure about it, but still gets a forehead kiss from Maria. Until Gregory fucking harasses her. What a fall from grace. So he, his new partner / manager, Mark Henry, gets to fight him. And he won. And yet the cutscene tells me that I lost. Did I just witness a dusty finish? Anyways, after some R&R which made him lose some fans somehow, he spoke with Mark Henry for a tag match with Finley and Batista. He lost by submission because Henry keeps hitting Joe. Yeah, the AI is sucky at times. I was doing a 6-man battle royal match where I got eliminated, and then the last two fighters, both AI, then both pinning. Seriously, they never ended the match. I felt like they would take forever to end that, so I just quit. Anyways, that match didn't help his respect and Mark gets injured. He deserved it, but it wasn't accidental. It was done by one of Joe's rivals. He first fights Gregory again, won, then Mr. Kennedy, lost, only to be saved from a post-match share shot by MPV. After swapping opponents, he fights Matt Hardy, twice. That decision didn't help his reputation, nor his chances to become a contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is now the last SmackDown before Judgment Day. Joe joins forces with MVP to fight Matt Hardy and Mr. Kennedy again. Makes sense. Despite winning, MVP did most of the work like he's Booker T to Stevie Ray. It didn't help as both teammates must face off to become #1 contender at the pay-per-view. This is it. The real deal for Joe Ralphie. He must face off Montel Vontavious Porter, managed by Matt Hardy, in an early chance to become a respected member of the locker room. All is well for our little buddy. Unfortunately, his injury in one of his forth from training a month ago has proven to be his Achilles heel. And so, he lost by submission. His trek to become #1 contender is gonna get longer from then on. Well, better luck next time at the Bash. I'm not gonna bore you with more story time, so let's end on this note. It annoys me that I can only have one save file per career. Hey, at least I have 2 USB sticks in case. Well, what else? Oh yeah, there's online multiplayer, which I guess no one plays anymore. So what, is that it? SVR 2K8 is an alright game. It surely doesn't beat 2K6, but it's an enjoyable game to play with simplified mechanics and more button mashing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I tend to rush the ending of the review because I really wanted this to be over. I'm actually not that much of a wrestling game fan, as you can plainly tell, though I like to play them casually and admire the creator wrestler feature. Other than that, I just stick to my guns.
Diggity dog. Breaking. Diggity dog. Breaking.